Want to save thousands by working on your own car, but don't know where to begin? Or want some quick tips to make it easier? In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 tips that I've learned the hard way when I started to work on my own cars.
Oh no!
Let's go!
Welcome to the channel for anyone who wants to enjoy cars without breaking the bank. Today, I have a confession. For the longest time, I was one of those car enthusiasts. The guy who loved his cars, but never actually worked on them. Shame! Whenever one of my old cars would break down, I'd just take it into a shop and hope it wouldn't be too expensive. And guess what? It usually was. That's because most mechanics charge around $80 for every hour of work that they do. But they'll also charge for parts, which shops almost always mark up. That's right, most shops will charge you an extra 25 to 50% more for the exact same part you could easily buy from home. Add it all up and you can save hundreds by ordering your own parts and putting in a little elbow grease yourself. For example, when the power seat of my Corvette recently conked out, the best quote I could find for a shop to fix it, parts and labor, was $1,000. Yikes! Instead, I found a refurbished replacement part myself that cost $250. I then spent an afternoon swapping it out and saving myself $750 in the process. But beyond saving some cash, you also form a greater bond and appreciation for your machine that you just can't attain without getting your hands a little dirty. So, here are my top 5 tips to help you get started that should be useful for just about any repair that you need to make. Tip number 1, prep the day before. I like to spend at least a few hours online researching how to fix the issue. If I can find a step-by-step tutorial, especially right here on YouTube, that is pure gold. I put all the helpful links I find in one Google Doc, along with any notes or tips. Then when I'm outside making the repair, I can use my phone and the document I made for a quick, easy reference to keep me on track. Number 2, be comfortable. Working on cars is messy, exhausting, physical work, so you might as well be as comfy as you can. That starts with loose clothing that you won't cry about if it gets stained. You'll have to contort your body to reach tight spaces or lift heavy pieces, so leave the skinny jeans in your drawer. Car work is also hard as hell on your hands, so I like using gloves, one of 2 kinds depending on what I'm doing. For messier jobs, I like standard powder-free nitrile gloves. I wear these to protect my hands if I'm using harsh chemicals, and then I can just toss them away when I'm finished. A box of these costs about $10. For more physical work where I'm having to wrench, I use these mechanics gloves, which cost about $20. Just about everything under a car is sharp, so these protect your knuckles from getting all skinned up. They also provide a bit of extra padding to your palm for wrenching work. I cut the fingers off of mine because I just found it easier to grab nuts and bolts. By the way, if you like this video so far, hit that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm and really makes a difference for a channel getting started like mine. Thanks. Speaking of support, give your back a break by getting a small stool to sit on. It's much more comfortable than having your butt on the ground for hours. And you'll probably be sweating a lot as you work, so don't forget to stay hydrated and keep a water handy. Or whatever else you need to get the job done. Tip number 3, stay organized. When I first started working on cars, I lost countless hours just trying to remember where the hell I put stuff, or how to reassemble the pieces that I took apart. Now, I'm organized. I use a sandwich bag, a pen, and a notepad. And the second I remove any bolts or nuts, I put them in a baggie and mark what they are. That way, hours later when it's time to reassemble everything, I'll remember what bolts went where. Also, as soon as you're done with a tool or a socket or whatever, take the extra few seconds to put it back. Otherwise, you'll waste a ton of time wandering around trying to find it later, like you see me doing here while working on my wife's T-Bird, trying to find a tool I misplaced. Don't be that guy. 4th tip. Compare your parts before installing them. You want to make absolutely certain that the new part you have is indeed the same part as the one you're taking out. Even experienced mechanics often find that the part they ordered just isn't right. It could be from a different year, or you could have been mailed the wrong part, or it could be defective. So always visually compare the old part to the new part before you install the new one. That way you won't waste time and you won't damage your car. Number 5, Take reference photos. Again, your cell phone is your best friend. Before you start taking anything complicated apart, it's a great idea to have this handy and take pictures as you go. Hours later, when you're trying to put it together again, you'll have a handy visual reference on your phone ready to go. This saved my butt during the Corvette power seat repair, which had a bunch of complicated wires and lines to keep track of. But because I took reference photos before disconnecting everything, I was able to put everything back to where it belonged so I could test it out for that moment of truth. Good. Good. But let's hear it from you guys. Comment below with any tips or tricks you'd like to share that you've picked up over the years, or anything else you'd like to know more about that I can cover in future videos. And be sure to subscribe for more practical car videos coming your way very soon. Thanks for watching, and stay practical.
There it went. Oh shit.
No.
Okay, you can stop.